a count of after the toss, you know, the time limit for warm up, so you know, oh, time up. So your 2-minute warm up is over, you cannot warm up anymore. So you need this, and also you need this to time the timeout. Okay, now when you are playing the match, you are entitled to 1 timeout each, 1 minute. Okay, so you cannot take the second timeout. So the stopwatch would help to monitor the time. Yes.
When you say a match, is that 3 games, 5 games, or what?
In a match, it's any odd number of games. So it could be 3, 5, 7.
You only get 1 in a 7 game?
Only 1. Okay. In more advanced type of tournament, they do best of 7. Most of the time it's best of 5. Sometimes it's best of 3, depending on the level. Sometimes young kids, you know, they don't have the attention span, so best of 3 work for them. But most of the time it's best of 5.
Norm, I have
Yes.
a follow-up question.
Yeah.
When you have the 1 minute
Timeout.
how far from the table can you go?
It's within 3 meters of the court. So now a lot of people think that you have to be inside. That's unnecessary. You can go outside. But under the supervision of the umpire, like you cannot disappear. Like we want to see you. We want to see whether you are doing something that is against the rules. Okay.
So if the fellow, this actually happened to me, if the fellow wants a bathroom break or something, is he allowed to go if it's more than 3 meters? I mean, what's the situation there?
That's a tricky question. And
I would get permission myself, but
it happened. When you have to go to the bathroom, you go. But in a tournament setting, we would request another official to accompany him or her. Now this happened quite a lot in the para event. People on wheelchairs, sometimes they have to go. Right. You know, you don't say, okay, wait, go. Otherwise you have to do a lot of cleanup. So this happened, but like I said, it needs to be supervised. Like someone has to, like, if they go to a bathroom, they don't want to receive illegal coaching and things like that. No.
But they have to ask him, right?
Of course.
Yeah. My opponent didn't. It's just
well, you see, the thing is, the umpire actually cannot grant the request. The referee has to grant the request.
Okay.
But in situations like this, you know, referee has no reason to say no.
Yeah.
So we basically put the responsibility to the umpire to say, okay, you make a decision, he need to go, he goes. But you have to report to the referee afterwards. Otherwise, the referee would say, how did this happen? I do not know about it. Okay.
How about injury?
Injury?
Yeah.
Okay. Injury timeout is another thing. Each player is entitled to 10 minutes total.
Okay.
Total. So now, injury only apply to injury that took place during the match. Say if you were the previous match, you twist your ankle, you come in with a twisted ankle, you cannot use that as an excuse to ask for the timeout. If I say do a top spin, I injure my hand, bleeding, you stop right away. All the blood has to be cleaned out, stop before you can start again. Okay. If I try to save a point, but I fell, really twist my ankle, you're entitled to 10 minutes like I said, to receive medical help or rest to recover. Now, say in the case of if I fell, I twist my ankle, after 3 minutes, I said, okay, I can start again. I'm okay now. So you only use up 3 minutes. And after the second game, it adds up again. You can ask for medical timeout. So the total accumulation is 10 minutes.
So you could have, in a match, you could have maybe like 3 injury timeouts, as long as they didn't exceed 10 minutes?
Exactly, the total, not exceeding 10 minutes. But the umpire has to be certain that it is injury timeout, not try to take advantage of the provision of injury timeout or throw all the momentum of the other player. So the umpire has to make that decision. He has to satisfy himself that indeed it is an injury-related request. Okay. When we talk about timeout, so white card, when you're umpire, you show up the white card. Okay. If this player asks for timeout, and then you record it. Okay. When the timeout is called and things like that. The other cards, yellow card, is for behavior. Okay. So if Eric loses a point and got so upset, kick table, yellow card. Or if he swears, bad language, yellow card. First offense, yellow card. You write it down on your match slip. Second offense, yellow and red.
Yellow
2
and
cards.
red. Okay.
And you lose 1 point.
Lose 1 point. Okay.
Okay. Third offense, same thing. Yellow and red, you lose 2 points. Okay, so if the score is, say, 10-10,
You get
2 points, game over. Okay,
If you lose 2 points, it's 10-10, would it be 10-8?
so 10-10.
12-10.
So the other guy get 2 points.
Oh, the other guy gets 2 points.
Sorry, okay. Wrong wording. You don't lose the point, the other side gain points.
Okay, so plus 2.
So it's a gain of points, not a loss of points.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what happened if it's the score is say 10-9? 10-9. Okay. 2 points.
So it's dues. All depends on 10-9 for which one, I guess.
Okay. So the one say you got 9 points, you got 10 points. Now I give you a yellow and red. So the score, like the game is over.
Right.
But that extra point will carry over to the next game. So next game start with 1-0. Okay? So these are the kind of things that a lot of players do not realize will happen. Okay? Now, when the second yellow and red show up, umpire should call the referee.
Okay.
Referee should be around to monitor what's going on, because if it is serious enough, the referee can eject.
Would you call a late referee for the first offense or the second offense?
Second,
The second.
because sometimes you got a yellow card, he would calm down already. But sometimes just escalating. Then that's why you have the we call it a penalty point system. Okay. The referee only got 1 card.
Oh yeah.
That's the only card. When the referee shows the card, either the coach has to go or the player has to go. That's it. Okay. Now everyone play and everyone got a racket. Just want to show you different types of racket that I found laying around. And out of these 4, not all of them are we consider a legal racket for tournament. Okay. This one, for example, this is what we call a pips. You got the no sponge, which is fine, but there are sufficient damage that we would not allow them to use. Okay. The other thing, there's no ITTF logo on it. So the first thing to look, physical damage, ITTF logo, and the other thing is one side has to be red, the other side has to be black. Okay, you cannot have both sides the same color. You cannot have blue, black, and red. Okay, so this one is an illegal racket for tournament. Okay. This is another one. So it's illegal. Okay, you cannot have, like, it has to be completely red, black. The same thing, no ITTF logo. The third thing is it's really shiny. The rubber has to be matte. That means you don't have the reflection. This one you can't use at the tournament. This is what we call the pen holder type racket. Only one side has a sponge and rubber, the other side is just wood. But the same thing, even the side that has no rubber has to be different color. So this one with rubber is red, the other side is to be black. Okay, and it has the proper logo, ITTF, no physical damage. So this is a good racket to use. Yes?
2 things. One, what about the age of the rubber? Like this one looks fairly worn. And second thing, are there any requirements about the wood itself? Okay.
There's no problem for the aging of the rubber. Okay, as long as they are not damaged, you can still use it. They may lose the elasticity, they may not have the same effect, but it's legal. In terms of the wood, as an official, we do not have the equipment or ability to check them, even though on paper they said percentage of wood, like you can have carbon fiber, other material embedded in the blade, but we can't check. So as long as we look at it, there's no damage, that's fine. Now the other thing that people may not realize is there's no limitation on the size or shape of the blade. Okay, it could be huge, right? You can hold it with 2 hands.
I had a guy try to tell me I had a racket that was too big, and I asked him to get the ruling off the internet and show me. He never did, but he kept complaining about it.
Yeah. As long as it's fully covered by the rubber sheet, it's fine. I have seen a racket that has no handle. They put a hole there so the thumb can go through. That's fine. As long as you can see the logo, as long as it's not damaged, as long as it's red and black, that's fine. Now, we talk about damaged racket. What happened if, like, boom, the handle is broken? What happened? Can you use the racket again?
No.
If the rubber is fine, no damage, but the handle is loose, like
Is
it's
it
dangling.
Is this cracked, you mean?
Yeah, cracked and like not rigid anymore. The handle, not the blade. The blade is still rigid.
It would change the playing though, because if it's shaking, it would change the ball, so I would say it would be legal.
Not from what you just said.
Yeah?
You can do anything you want.
It's not.
As long as you are still willing to use it, you can hold it like this. I don't need the
Doesn't matter at
handle.
all then. Doesn't matter.
I don't need the handle. As long as the rubber remain intact and good, that's fine. Now, what happens if I have a racket, both sides rubber, okay? I play both sides. One side got damaged. Umpire look at it and said, no, you cannot use it anymore. You have to replace your racket. And I said, no, that's the only racket I have. But I'll only play with one side now. Okay? I only play with one side. Is that allowed? It is allowed. Any time you use this side, the damaged side, to hit the ball, the other guy got a point. Because it's illegal on this side. Yes?
Given that it doesn't seem to be advantageous for the person using that sort of damaged racket, what's the rationale for that rule?
It's it's an interpretation of the rule, okay? Because if you go through the rule book, they did not say, oh, you can play with a racket without a handle. They only said the blade can be any shape, any size. So it's an interpretation there, okay? Now, damage, they said you cannot use if it is damaged, but I'm not going to use it. So it's also an interpretation. If I'm not going to use it, then this side is okay. This side is still good. Okay.
What about players who play penhold and they hit with wood on
No.
it? That's illegal?
It has to be
Rubber.
It has to be rubber.
It
Okay.
has to be rubber.
I should have known that 20 years ago.
Now,
Just
when I said ITTF logo, you can check on the website, ITTF website. Every rubber sheet that's been approved is on the list, and that list is updated every 6 months. So it got the ITTF logo. It may not be approved. It may be approved 2 years ago
right.
or 6 months ago. But now it may be off the list. So as an umpire, you have to check.
Oh, really?
Especially some of the pimple rubber, the pips.
Okay.
Sometimes they are off the list. Okay, so even though when you just look at it, oh, you got the logo there, it may not be actually approved for current use.
Is that right?
It's something to look into. And I just happened to look at that one, so I pull off the list from the website, and as you can see, they have this on. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. They for the new rubber, they actually
it's
got a picture of it.
Really? Oh, wow.
So you cannot like say, oh, I don't know. You have a look at this one,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's now illegal.
Now this one is a good.
Oh, no, it's good. It's good.
It's good.
Yeah. It's on the list.
So both sides is the same rubber, so black and red. So anyone can go onto the website to look at. See if you got a butterfly rubber. No, you can just look at butterfly and then go down the list. You see them.
What animal is that? I can't tell.
That's the first time I see it as well. So that's why I look it up and say, okay, that's fine.
What happens if the racket is damaged during the game? Can the person change your racket?
Okay, it's a good question. When the racket is damaged, 99% of the time, they would say, oh, it's damaged. I need to change it. So the umpire, with the permission of the referee, will allow them to change. Okay, the equipment is under the jurisdiction of the referee. Umpire is the first one that encountered the situation, so he would say, oh, it's damaged enough. So he would just let the referee know, this one cannot be used. You want to change a new one? Go ahead. Can he argue to say, no, it's not damaged enough, I can still use it? He can argue, but the decision from the referee is final. When he said you cannot use it, you cannot use it, because it may affect the outcome. Usually, if the damage is on the edges, it's not too bad. It's not a big problem. It's right at the sweet spot where you always hit the ball, and if the rubber start cracking or if it's a pips missing some pimple, then you have to change, because that would definitely change the outcome of the game.
What about a warm-up period? Let's say you're playing someone and they damage the racket. They get permission to change it, and the racket they're using as a replacement is very different. Would you be allowed a short warm-up to get used to its properties?
Anytime you change a racket, you allow a short, a few strokes, just so that you get used to it, your opponent get used to it.
Now, if you change your racket, you have to use the exact same racket, though. You can't use a different racket.
No, it doesn't have to be.
You can use a different racket.
You can have completely different racket.
You go from a pips to a non-pips and all
Yes,
that?
yes,
You can.
yes, you can.
Strategy, breaking
But-
racket.
But
Oh, this is gotta try this, man.
but the key thing here is
It's a final.
the racket damage is only done accidentally. Okay? If you lose the point and you go, no. Then basically the referee. Well, that's where the umpire comes in. He's the one there monitoring what's going on. Right? If you hit, boom, the damage is accidental. But if you go, that's not accidental. And if that happens, definitely a referee has to be called. And I don't think the player will continue the game or match. That's gone. The match is over. Okay?
Well, I have a question that some people here might relate to. There's a fellow in Ottawa who has a racket where he's got pips and he's carved out the middle so that the pips on the outside are longer. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
It has to be uniform. Whether it's ordinary sponge rubber or pips, it has to be uniform. Okay? That's why when we look at it, said, well, here is too much damage, missing a lot of the rubber sheet, you cannot use. And if it is pips missing the pimple itself, 1 or 2 is fine. If they're distributed missing, that's fine. But if they're concentrated, then no, definitely you cannot use. And the same thing with the sponge rubber, sandwich rubber. If it is a crack, some of the more expensive rubber, they tend to crack. That's okay, as long as it's not moving. Because if it starts moving, then it's going to affect the outcome of the game. Okay.
What is the limit size? Like, so if you have a racket for say a year or two, you often get little tiny pieces that come off on the side. What would be the limit of how much rubber you could be missing and still have a good racket?
There's no written number as such. but the accepted practice is about 2 millimeter. We have the net gauge. This is 4 millimeter. Okay, we use this one to measure the thickness. To measure the thickness of the rubber. Okay, so maximum sponge plus rubber is 4 millimeter. Okay, now it's not a very accurate measurement, but it's a good indication. So if you see a damage, that is, let's see, I'll show you the other gauge. This net gauge has two. One is a 4, one is a 2. So what we do is we go like this.
So it's very small.
So
yeah. Okay, yeah, I got one.
So this one is more than 4. Okay. How are we doing with time, Stephen?
Yeah, we can go another 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is when we start the game, we do a toss. We do a toss to decide who serve or who receive first. Okay, you just use a coin. I think most of you get a coin with you. So you just call head or tail or different color. It's up to you. So as long as you got something to call, and even people say, okay, I don't have anything with me. You just go, okay, which hand? That still work. So if you win the toss, or you say, okay, I said the ball's here, you guess correctly, so you have a choice to decide serve first or receive first, or
Make the other person choose first.
no, you cannot. No, you cannot. Well, in a way it is, but you cannot say you decide. Because if I choose serve, you have to choose. You have no choice but receive, right? But I cannot say, okay, you tell me what you want to do. You cannot. But besides serve and receive, you can also choose which side you're on. Okay? So if I decided to choose service or receive, then the other side, the other player can decide which side they want. So each one has one choice. Okay? Now, in doubles, it's more complicated. Okay? Can I have 4 volunteers, two each side? Okay. Maybe you want to come out? Okay, good. Okay, so as an umpire, then I would ask, okay, who calls? Okay, so usually they don't calling doesn't matter. So okay, you call black, so they want the call. Now they can choose. Do you want to serve or receive?
I'll receive.
So I'll tell you, they're going to receive. So who serve? Now you got 2 players here. You can choose which one to serve first.
Normally,
in double.
Whoever's standing here will.
I know,
Yeah.
but sometimes I'm looking at them and say, okay, I have more advantage to serve to this player than the other one. So always there's a choice, right? So if you say, okay, I'll serve. So you serve. Then I have to come back here and say, who received? Doesn't matter where you stand, you can change. You look at him and say, okay, he's going to serve now. Am I going to have advantage to receive or not? So you can make a decision.
I would decide.
No, you decide,
That I will serve.
and they decide who receives.
Each other.
Yes. Okay? So once that decision is made, it continues throughout.
Would you stand on the other side of the table, please? We can't.
Oh, sorry. Now, once they make a decision, you serve, you receive. This sequence maintained throughout the match.
Oh, it doesn't change every...
It changed, but no, just listen, okay? Now, it's the same like in singles match. Each one serve 2 points. Okay, you serve 2 points. Now the receiver become the server. So you serve, and you rotate, right? 2 points. Now you serve, and they rotate. Okay, so first game, no problem. Okay, second game, your turn to serve first, right? So you can decide who serves first.
I can decide, okay. So I can change, okay.
You can decide which one to serve first. Okay. Second game. Okay. Once you make a decision, then the sequence remains the same. You
So
see the
other side cannot choose.
No, it's already established. It goes the other way around. Because say if you serve to him in the first game, second game you serve to him. So that's make it even, right? And that's why they choose, and that's why there's an odd number of games. If they are evenly matched, the final game is important, right? It's confused?
The final game is what?
It's really important. Okay, so do you get the idea? Each game you can choose who serve first, but the receiver is basically predetermined after the first decision.
On the fifth game,
In the fifth game, yes,
fifth point,
the last game of the match. So it could be 3, 5, or 7. Okay, yeah,
on the fifth point,
yes,
then there's a change as well.
okay.
The same as the first game.
In the singles, in the last possible game, 3, 5, or 7, once the score reaches 5, you change side. Okay?
Cumulative or?
No. 4-1, 5-1, they change. Okay? But this no. The surface remain the same. If I'm serving, I'm still serving 2 points. You are not being taken away that 1 point, right?
But you move physically.
Now in doubles, you also change side. Okay? Whoever entitled to serve remain to serve, but the receiver change. So if you are serving to him, 4-1, 5-1. Okay? So you move over, right? And then you change the receiver. Yeah. But you have to change side, right? So they move over here, you move over there. Okay?
That's a great difference for singles and doubles.
What's
In
that?
singles, you don't change the receiver. In doubles, you do at 5
Yeah.
in the last game.
Yes. Just to make it even, because like the first game, there's one sequence of service. Second game is the other way around, right? You do not keep serving to the same player throughout the match. So each game is different. That's why in the last possible game, after 5 points, you do the same, so that you get even spread, who's serving to whom receive. Okay? I know it's not easy to get that in, but you know you know a little bit. Maybe get your interest up, and next time when we have the umpire clinic, you can attend and we'll do more in-depth explanation.
Well, it makes sense what you're saying from an equitable perspective, that everything evens out.
Yes.
So you can use it logically that
Right.
way. Yeah.
So in the first game, whoever wins the sauce
Yes.
has the complete advantage
Not really.
because they pick if they're gonna serve or not. Then we pick who's gonna serve. But
Yes.
they get to choose again who's gonna receive.
Exactly.
So they're in an advantage either way.
Uh,
They can't change the tactics comparing who's gonna be serving.
no, you cannot. But some people they said they will receive, just like. So it depends. Okay, but it's a tactic. You usually, you know, if they know each other well, how they play and who they're pairing up with, they'll make some decision.
I've never seen anybody say I would receive.
Oh, it happened.
Especially if you have bad serve.
Okay, now since we are talking about doubles, I think most of you know you always serve from the right side of the court, the right half. Okay. The thin line in the middle is considered the right side of the court. Okay. So when you serve from the right side, is to go to the right side of the other side. So the ball bounce on the line there is a good serve. Okay? If it bounced on this side but landed on the left-hand side there, it's a fault surface. Yes?
It happens so often that one side says it was over, the other side says no. Everybody just says it's a do-over. Is that acceptable?
Well, that's why you have the umpire. The umpire for...
In our matches, it happened 10 times last night.
Well, if just two of you and you cannot agree, I mean, that's the only possible solution, right? But if there's an umpire there, he's the one to make the decision.
But usually, if the umpire's sitting right here,
Yeah.
you can't see the line from sitting here.
Oh yeah, umpire. Now for doubles, he has to stand.
Oh, he has to stand for
Oh yeah, for double he has to stand, or on the high chair, so he get a better point of view. Okay, if he sits down, he can't really tell.
For the calls,
Yes.
if you're reffing your own match, I've always been taught that you call, like tennis, you call on your own side. Is
What-
that not right?
What do you mean?
Well, if you have two guys, you have no umpire or ref, no umpire there. Okay, you just ref, you're doing your own match, and there's a dispute. Then I've always been taught, I'm not saying it's right, but I've always been taught that it was the person's own side that they call.
The receiving side, you mean?
The other, yeah, like your own.
There's no rule, but if you both agree, no such rule.
There's no such rule. Okay.
No such rule.
That's good. This is quite different from tennis. It's interesting.
There's no such rule like, oh, if I'm the receiving end, I would say, oh, it's not on the line or on the line, because it doesn't happen like that.
So if you can't agree, then you have to get an umpire.
Well, too late.
Well, if the umpire if the umpire wasn't there in the first place, he cannot tell you, right? So, like I said, in that situation,
I suggest they change it to the system like tennis, and we'll make it a lot easier. At least for unumpired matches.
now the other thing about the table itself is this is what we call the net and net assembly, whole thing. Okay, the post, the bracket, they are still considered the net.
Okay.
Okay, so when you hit the ball surface, you hit here. Now I don't know how when you serve you can hit this, but anyway, if you hit this and land on the proper court, it's still just a net ball. You serve again. when you are doing the game, you hit the post, land on the table surface, it's good return. Including this. The chain, the cord, that's why usually we told the umpire to wrap them around.
Are they called the permanent fixtures?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know what you're saying, but it's the net assembly.
Yeah.
Permanent fixture, usually we refer to the lighting and all that. When you hit the lighting, you lose the point, or the other side get the point. Yeah. But these, if you return the ball and hit the chain, it's considered hitting the net, and if it landed on the table surface, it's a good return.
And you can go around the net. You don't have to hit the ball over the net.
You can go around the a spin like this. Doesn't have to go over. You can go around and under. It's still good. Okay, so the net is basically an extension all the way. There's some unconventional net assembly right now. Make our life very difficult. It extends all the way to the floor. So what is the net assembly or not? So there's a lot of argument there. Luckily, we don't see that often. Okay. Another thing that a lot of people have confusion or argument is the side or edge. The edge is considered the table surface. Side is not. Okay? So if the ball hit the edge, it's good. Hit the side, is not. So when you return the ball goes around, it's not good. Edge is good.
Of course,
same thing.
Difference of opinion on that one as
What's
well.
that?
You can get quite a difference of opinion. One thing, though, if somebody hits a ball and it goes off the end and it just barely hits, would you say that it's impossible to hit the side without hitting the top? If you hit off the end?
Like this? Or here?
Yeah, here, yeah. If that's there, that would definitely hit, right? Okay.
You won't be able to hit here.
Yeah,
it's only the side here.
Okay, just want to
If
make
the
sure.
ball landed this way,
Yeah, it's possible either way.
yeah, if it landed right on the edge, it's different.
Somebody once told me that one way to judge those is by the angle the ball comes off.
Yeah, that's a good way to tell, and that's why in a more serious match we got two umpires, one on each side, so each one make a decision on their side because it's easier for them to see rather than from the other side of the table.
That's serious.
Yes, serious.
Okay.
And this is explained to us last night. If the ball hits the edge,
Yes.
it will bounce up. If it hits the side, it will bounce down.
Not always.
Not always.
Not true. Oh no, whoever told you that is wrong.
Mark from the club in Gatineau.
Mark Richard? Oh,
That's what he said.
Okay, when it say if the ball comes over here, hit the edge. If it really depending on how the ball land, but it definitely if you hit the edge, it won't go down. Definitely, it will bounce up higher than the table surface. Put it that way.
Here's a weird situation.
Let me finish.
Sorry. Yes, sir.
If the ball landed on the side, chances of it going up is really low. Well, depending on how the ball is being hit, right? See, if I come from here,
You could go up.
there's a speed this way.
You're coming in.
This way, yeah. If I hit the ball this way, and it go around, and it still got a chance to go up.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it still has. So that's
No, it's not seen
So that's why it's a good indication, but right on the spot, the umpire has to make a decision. Right or wrong, he has to make a decision. It may be subject to argument. No, it's not. Now, we in table tennis, we do not use video replay. So we are, even though a lot of tournaments we do have video capturing the whole sequence, but we do not use that. We cannot go back and say, okay, let's watch the video and then make that call. No. Once the umpire make the call, that's it. Unless he's not convinced himself, which I hope it doesn't happen, because then it will be argument, right? Say if you make a call for this guy gaining a point, after the argument, say, oh yeah, maybe he's the one. That's problem. Okay.
Question.
Yes.
I was playing a match, and there was a splinter off the table. Okay, and I hit the splinter, and the other guy wouldn't give me the point. I was trying to argue.
Splinter where? On the table surface?
It was on the playing surface. It was like about like this, like that, like literally a splinter. It was from the top of the thing. So that would be a legal shot.
It would be.
I got chipped.
All right, I think we have time for one more topic. Quick 3, 4, 5 minute topic, and then we'll take questions and close up the masterclass.
Surface toss. Serving rule. Okay. The basic rules we go by right now is the ball has to be above the table surface.
At all times?
At all time. Now you cannot dip.
You can't hold the ball on the table and bring it up?
No. Well, you can lower it, but if you stationary, again, it's okay. So you have to think of the sequence, okay? The moment you start surfing, the ball has to be above and behind the end line.
So that's a tricky part. You talk about stationary. So I can get the ball below the table, bring it up for a second.
Yes, for a second. As long as everyone can see the ball stationary there. Like the different people have different habit, how they serve. Some people like bounce, things like that.
Yeah.
How many bounce, and I allow before I call it time wasting. So. But the key thing to remember is above and behind. Mm-hmm. So. Same thing. Some people serve way out on the side. It's still the same thing. The other thing is when you toss the ball, it has to be up at least the height of the net. That's the minimum height acceptable. So you cannot do a quick serve like that's illegal.
Now, is the ball supposed to be falling before you hit it?
Exactly. The ball
has to fall before you hit it.
The ball has to start falling, and then you can hit. You cannot hit the ball on the way up. That's why we, with the short serve, like this, short toss, can see. Okay? Use the height of the net as a gauge, as the minimum height.
What is the height in centimeters it has to go? Is it 16?
16.25.
16.
6 inches.
No, it's more than 6.
6 inches.
Well, 6.1.
6 inches. If I'm sitting down, I cannot tell you whether it's 5.5 or 6.5. So that's why I said use the height of the net as a guide.
16.25?
Yes, centimeter. So can you tell me when you're sitting down? You can tell me.
6 inches is the rule.
No, the rule is 16.25.
Okay.
Just a note before we continue. Norm will stick around after the masterclass. If you have any questions you want to ask him one-on-one, that might be a good time to do it
Okay, one last question before we stop. We had a situation where somebody was taking time on their serve, and
Last question, Dan.
and I didn't have a problem with this, but somebody else did. Mark Richard said that he thought a reasonable amount of time to serve was 5 seconds, and if you took more than 5 seconds, that would be stalling. What is your opinion?
Well, like it's the same thing in the rule book. They do not provide you with an exact number of time. Okay, so that's why the umpire has to make a lot of decisions. Yeah. Is he delaying the game? Is he taking advantage of that? So I cannot say 5 seconds is too long or too short. You really have to look at the situation right there. Okay. Just like not even service. If the ball come to the corner, some people would really rush over there, pick up the ball and start, and some would walk slowly. So you know what they're trying to do, right? Then there's no time to say, okay, you have to pick up the ball in 10 seconds. No. So you have to, as an umpire, you make a decision.
I'm sure you have something more to say about how you should serve. Why don't you say it?
What's that again?
I'm sure you have something more about how you should serve, like where your body is and things like that.
The key thing, like I'm not a coach, okay? I'm just telling you as an official, when we look at whether the serve is good or not, the ball has to be always visible.
Yes.
That's why we said cannot be below the surface because he cannot see it, okay? And it cannot be over because now, you can, even though it's you can see it, but it's over the table, which is, according to the rule, is not allowed. The other thing is, when you toss the ball, some people use the body to hide it. Some people use the arm to hide it. These are not allowed. So the ball has to be visible the moment you start the surface sequence to the point you hit the ball. Now, when they're using backhand serve, there's no problem. You can always see the ball clearly. It's the forehand serve, hiding, say if the umpire is sitting there, he cannot see the ball, even though it's above and behind the end line. That's why there's an assistant umpire to look at it. So the key thing is you cannot hide the ball. It has to be visible all the time.
And where can your body be?
The body can be anywhere.
Can it be around the side of the table?
You can stand over here to serve if you want, but then if your opponent put the ball back at this corner, you have to run.
No, but I saw somebody the other day in a video that was actually standing at the side of the table, and
yeah, because like a lot of players, they're quite tall, 6 foot plus. They start from here, and then they hit the ball almost at the middle of the table. But then the ball has to be tossed really high up. Otherwise, because it's not vertical. The word we use is near vertical. So if you throw the ball this way, it's not vertical. If you're throwing it sideways, throwing it back, that's illegal service.
And illegal service, the penalty for an illegal service is what?
Sorry.
The penalty, what do you is it like
It's
a
a
net
fall.
serve or you lose the point?
The other guy got the point.
The other guy.
Even on the first instance of that. There's no warning for the first illegal serve.
Can I step in here? If sometimes I'm playing people that don't know the centimeter rule.
Yeah. Let me answer his question first.
Okay.
Let me answer his question first. Yeah. Can you repeat it again?
I'm just wondering if there was any first warning, like the
Yes.
person doesn't.
Depending on the how severe, as an umpire, you consider that surface is illegal. Okay. Put an easy example is, I said the height above the net is marginal. If you see, it could be below, could be above. Give him a warning. Okay? If the ball just dip below a little bit, that you can still see a little bit, but you know, chances are he dip again, it will be below. You can give him a warning.
And then he restarts that serve.
He start again, but if the next time, for whatever reason, you consider the serve is not legal, that's a fault. Like you do not give 2 warnings. 1 warning is the maximum. And sometimes there's no warning at all if it is really illegal. And then your question?
Actually, I was just going to say what you just said. Believe it or
Sorry,
not.
I'm just going to interject here. I think we've gone about 10-15 minutes over time, and I think that this is a topic, the laws of table tennis, that could go on for hours and hours. And I know Norman can attest to that, as he gives from time to time club umpire exam seminars. So basically, it's a seminar which we offer here at the Ottawa Table Tennis Club from time to time, and it prepares you to take the club umpire exam, which is an online exam through the Table Tennis Canada website. Being an umpire is a really great way to contribute and support the sport. Here at the Ottawa Table Tennis Club, Michelle and I are just starting to discuss our tournament schedule for the next 12 months, which will provide many, many opportunities to practice those skills of being an umpire. I just want to say thank you to Norman for his time. Although in a few moments we will stop being live on Facebook, Norman will be here, and anybody who has some questions can find him, and I think Norman will be very happy to answer them. And then some of the other players can hit the tables and practice playing table tennis according to the rules, now that everyone knows them. So
Good.
Thank you very much, Norman.
Thank you. Thank you for the attention.